I always find it interesting that after a disaster like a bushfire or floods or droughts, we often hear people say, the people in this town all pulled together. The whole community is involved and we're all trying to help each other out. The compassion of people for those in trouble is so evident in those times. It shows the wonderful human goodness of people. It is actually godlike. Since we are all made in the image and likeness of God, I suppose it is no wonder that sometimes we act like God. By acting like God, we not only become better people, we also become more like God. We share in His divinity, as the priest says when he adds the water to the wine at Mass. St. James, in our second reading today, has a very good example of how to be godlike. He challenges us about ignoring the poor man in order to accompany the rich man to the front seat. To attend to the poor man is to act from our compassionate heart. To want to be associated with the rich and famous probably has more to do with our desire for glory and honour. Which course of action do you think is more honourable? My first appointment as a Columban priest was to the Philippines. That was a real education. I'd never seen such wealthy people, nor had I seen such poor people. Then, when I came back to Australia, I tried to share something of this experience with people, and they responded wonderfully. Often their question was, what can we do to help the poor? For a long time, I could not find a good answer. But eventually, when people asked the same question, I would say, get to know poor people and let your heart do the rest. It is still my best answer. By meeting poor, suffering people, our own hearts are moved. Our compassion drives us to do something. Of course, we can turn away and ignore the situation, but usually out of our God-given human goodness, we do something positive. We may make a donation, or we may use our gifts to do research on poverty, or start an organisation to help the people that we have met. Our lives are changed and we become more like the God of love that we worship in the Mass today. So let us pray for each other today so that we can respond to others from our compassionate heart.